And after some spirited conversation, boy, Brian Bros, one day people gonna pay us money to hear what we talk about before I hit record on this daggum thing. They don't, you know what it is?
You and I will solve some world problems before we even talk about on the air, won't we?
Oh, we gonna get it right, Brian Bros. You feel me? But I appreciate you for being here with me, man.
Appreciate you, man.
You know,
Happy New Year to you, brother.
I told my audience Brian Bros would call me lazy if I didn't come to work tonight, so I had to be sure. I had to be sure.
You know what? You have more than exceeded my expectations, but you don't show up and work tonight, I would have called you lazy.
Yeah, of course, man. It is what it is. I sent you a link to my big boy Brian Bros. You
know what? I got it. I got it on my phone. I gotta look at it. I was coming off air, and I all of a sudden I get this really color bright board and all that. I'm like going, my man is high teching me right now.
I'm a glittering, and it just popped out on your phone too. If you got an iPhone, you ain't got to hit it. It just pops out.
It was like when you know, sometimes when you go on someone's Twitter page and the balloons come down, it's their birthday. I felt like I was getting the balloons.
That's what it
like
is.
I was New Year's Eve. I was New Year's Eve for sure.
Every day is your birthday in draft season, Brian Bros. But
every day is your damn birthday. Every day.
I put it up on my Patreon there, patreon.com.
Did you really? Good for you.
Yeah. So
I'll get mine together. Sure. I have it together. I need to get it to you so you could do the same. And maybe there'll be a way I can update it. Like every week and put it up there as we get players.
Sounds awesome.
As we get the players. I'd also maybe like to see. I track the players I've seen by position.
Mm-hmm.
So if fans want to go to that and say, instead of asking, "Hey, have you seen?"
Yeah.
What players we've seen. So I have a running master by position alphabetically, and then I have my actual board.
You're a bad boy.
So if that helps people down the road, we can do that.
Brian, I wanted to say this to you. We got a fantastic show for the people tonight here, Brian Bros. We got a homework assignment that we're gonna get into. You got a handful of questions. We're gonna ask those. But Brian,
I do.
Putting this board together, I see what you're saying. It's nice to have it just right there and accessible. Brian, let me tell you a bit of information.
Hey,
Brian, hold on, wait a minute, stop it. I know you the pro. You want some hardware. I got you. I get it. But Brian, let me tell you something, man.
Hey, let me introduce you to my friend Vince Lombardi.
Me, Voch Lombardi. What'd you say?
Voch Lombardi. Let me introduce you to your granddad.
My uncle, my great uncle Vince.
No, man. Hey, I'm glad I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you took it. I'm glad you've kind of made it with your own touches and stuff too.
Sure.
But yeah, I just think that to me, I encourage people just excel by position, rounds. Just make you a board. Look at Voch's board, look at my board, and kind of get an idea and do it yourself if you're doing this work, and you can kind of see where you have these guys. I think it's a very helpful way of it's what we do in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, always that's how we. Trust me, I've got all my boards here. How about this one, Voch? Philadelphia.
Damn.
When I ran the draft in Philly, that was my board.
They don't even make highlighters that color anymore. They don't even make them thick.
Look at
like
this.
That no
Look
more.
down to the bottom here. Look at the very bottom. Randy Moss off our board. See that?
Hey, man, you better burn that for some.
No. Jeff Lurie. Jeff Lurie told me, he goes, hey, but he was off our board, but I wanted to make sure that I noted that. But yeah, look at this, man. I mean, yeah, all those highlighters and stuff, those are dudes that got picked. And then down here at the bottom were dudes that didn't get picked that were on our board. Okay. So you want to have your board, tight.
Yeah.
You don't want 400 damn names of guys up there. You get lost.
Sure.
Get you good tight board.
Yeah.
Hey, don't window dress it.
Yeah.
Hell, this was a draft board we did in Green Bay. Tight. See, just not a lot of names.
Yeah.
Not a lot of names. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you put the players on there you'll draft, and then but keep your board tight and keep it organized. Work with it. If you got players you like a little better, don't let people like me or Voch influence you. Thanks. Don't let that happen. Do your own work. Do your own work. Have discussions. Jump in the chats with us. Take calls one day. I'm sure of all this. So yeah, I mean, this is a lot of fun for all of us. This should be a lot of fun going forward.
This board will be on patreon.com/vochlombardi if anybody's interested, and I'll be updating it every time I watch 3 or 4
I'll
players.
give you my board too to put up there as well.
We'll do that. But Bryan Broaddus, man, just looking at my board here, man, I want you to take a guess, not including quarterbacks, because I ain't watched none of them. How many first-round grades do you think I have, Bryan?
12. Without the quarterbacks? Without the quarterbacks?
Without the quarterbacks.
12. 12.
That's a damn good guess, bro. I got 11.
I didn't even look at your board yet because you know what? I'm in the same situation.
I got 11, Bryan. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
That's where I'm at. I'm just looking, and it's just one of those years to where, because I've learned this from you, a second-round grade can still go in the first round, like in the back of the first round.
Every time.
But it's about...
They've been doing this. They've been doing this since the draft, since 1935.
Yeah.
There's going to be players that are always put on a board in the second round that are going to get first round. They're going to be picked in the first round. I have yet to be a part of a draft where I've had 32 names.
Yeah.
I've yet to be a part of that, of 32 first round grades. I've yet to be a part of that. Been doing this since 1992.
I
yet to have one of those.
Got 11 on my board, Bryan, and that makes me feel...
I can't believe you're wrong by one, but I understand what you're doing here.
Well, Bryan, I'm not going to be a coward. I'll just highlight a few of them for you.
Go ahead.
Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, he is not a first round grade for me.
Okay, good for you.
I want to come out and be bold and really mean it when I say it. Our guy, Michael Williams from Georgia, he is not a part of my first round grades, Bryan.
Okay.
Got to be honest with that. And Will Campbell, he's not a first round grade for me.
Okay.
Offensive tackle from LSU. And those are my guys that people will probably have as first round type grades, but they're not first round grades on my board.
Okay, let me see if I can guess the three. Let me see. It would be two more because I have Campbell, Williams, and Johnson in the first round.
Yes, sir.
But
I got two players that aren't commonly first round players.
Okay, I think that you got Starks as one of your guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My gut feeling, you probably have Pierce in the first round.
Pierce
from Tennessee.
Oh, no, sir. James Pierce is a second round grade for me.
Okay. Booker, the guard from Alabama.
No, sir. Second round grade for me.
Wow. Okay. So you're probably, man, do you have one of these? Do you have one of these defensive tackles in the first round? You have Graham.
Mason Graham is my only first round.
Me too.
Yep.
Holy geez, okay. There's somebody that I haven't seen that you've got on your board. How many wide receivers? You got 4 wide receivers?
I got 3 wide receivers.
Okay, so you don't have the Ohio State guys.
Okay. So Travis Hunter is on my board as a corner. So I got 4 receivers, 3 and Travis.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? And let's be real honest with this one though. I tell you what, the corners aspect and all that.
Yep.
Man, I've talked to a lot of scouts already about this. Everybody's got him on the board as a wide receiver. He's going to go as a wide receiver.
Okay.
He's going to go as a wide receiver. So I think that's where, you and I think about the corner spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think the league is going to look at him as a wide receiver. They're going to look at him as a wide receiver first, and then go from there. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
I can respect that, Bryan Broaddus. My 2 players that aren't commonly first round grades.
This is going to be interesting.
Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State wide receiver. He is a first round grade for me.
Okay. Yeah. Got you.
And at corner, Jahdae Barron, Bryan Broaddus. Jahdae Barron is a first round corner for me, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
That's where we at right now. And Siobhan Ravel from ECU made it real close. I might change my mind.
I got Ravel 1, Johnson 2, Barron 3.
Yeah,
is what I got on my board.
Man, Bryan, now that we here, man, let's just go ahead and talk about him. Let's just talk about this guy, Jahdae Barron from Texas. I turn on the film. Number 7, he's an outside corner. I say, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside corner, let's run it. Texas, luckily for us, because we get a proper evaluation here, they run a great mixture of zone and man.
They do.
When I see him in zone, Bryan, he's always around the football somehow.
Yeah.
You know, even if he's not the guy in coverage, he's always around making a play on the football somewhere. I love when he kind of hangs around the flats, but he comes up and he tackles Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
I kind of like that about him. I like that he gets physical at the line of scrimmage when he's just passing guys along in zone. He's really physical. Sometimes like he got a little handsy a couple times versus Michigan or whatever, but for the most part, he's solid with his hands. But Bryan Broaddus, he might be the best man cover corner I've seen so far in this draft.
Yeah,
as a man cover guy.
The kid at East Carolina, I think is pretty good, but I think you're onto something. This kid, and help me here if I'm right or wrong. I know people, my son Bennett Broaddus, who's a junior at Texas, says, Dad, this might be a Brian Branch player. We've talked about that before.
Yes. So go ahead.
This kid reminds me of Trent McDuffie that's at Kansas City that came out of Washington.
Okay.
This kid reminds me of Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
If we remember that draft, you know, University of Washington, the way that he played. And I kept thinking like, okay, let me circle back on Trent McDuffie if I can for you, my friend.
Please.
Plays both left and right corner. That's what Barron does, right?
Yep.
Kind of plays left, right. Tends to play off coverage more than he plays press. Does a good job adjusting in route. Will pick up his man, show ability to run with him. When he does play press, he does a good job of getting his hands on the receiver and working to redirect the route. Does a good job of maintaining that position. Did draw a holding call late in the Stanford game that I watched. I believe he's at his best when he can line up and play man. Can be super aggressive when he comes forward as a tackler. He'll miss at times, but not afraid to throw his body around in order to get to the ball carrier on the ground. Sure. I've seen him come off the edge like a cat blitz, that's that corner blitz, unblocked, and make a tackle behind the line. Has a knack for going after the ball, works hard in order to create turnovers, plays as if he has some football intelligence to his game.
Sure.
I think we're watching Trent McDuffie here, my friend. I really, really do. And Trent McDuffie has done a nice job in Kansas City.
I love what you're doing. I actually like that a lot. Let me add a little more to it, though, Bryan.
That was Trent McDuffie that I was reading right there. That wasn't our right. That was our guy. Yeah.
Right. And what I'm saying is, let me take that what you just said, because you're not wrong about it. Even with the hands and drawing like a little. But let me add a little bit to it though. I think this kid Barron from Texas, I think he has better ball skills than McDuffie.
Yeah. Okay.
I also think his best football might be at nickel. I think he has really quick feet, and somebody may look at his size, Bryan. He's like 5'11", maybe 6 foot.
5'11", 200. Yeah.
They may look at that or whatever, and they may play him at nickel, but he can play outside. He can do both.
He can play anywhere you want him to play, I think.
And Bryan, I kept watching Michigan, right? I don't know if they was just trying to put stuff on film just to screw with people. He started doing double A-gap linebacker stuff, Bryan. And I'm like, what the hell going on here? And look, he was just blitzing. He was running out there. He was covering the running back. So, like, we was looking at Jordan Lewis or whatever, right? I was like, all right, cool, I bet. Yeah. But I thought he was really good. They got this weird look where they got two safeties high behind them.
And they turn.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah.
But he's not a part of that safety package with them.
No,
it's safeties back there. There's corners on both sides of them, and there's linebackers in front of him, and he's just kind of roaming around. And
he's a rover. He's playing like a rover.
He roams around,
rover. Yeah, exactly.
and he'll travel with whoever. And there was a while in that Michigan game, he started running around with Loveland. Colston Loveland. Now he wasn't. I don't think he's big enough to run around with tight ends on this level. But I love the idea that his coaches think that much of him to let him do that. Then he'll go play free. Then he'll go play strong safety. So there is some Brian Branch into his game. But I think Brian Branch is a safety that plays corner sometimes. I think Barron is a corner that's playing safety sometimes. I don't think linebackers in his future.
No.
This isn't a direct comparison, right? But you remember Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey wasn't really a full-blown lockdown corner like that in college.
There was confusion if he was a safety.
He was a safety.
That's why if you look at Rod Marinelli and what went on, him and Chris Richard and those guys, they kept talking about they weren't sure what Ramsey was going to play, corner or safety. And at Florida State, he played a lot of safety. That's what he was.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then that's why, okay, hand the card in for Zeke.
Sure.
You know, it was Ramsey, it was Zeke. And it was because they were so unsure about what position he was going to play.
Sure.
And the same thing happened with damn TJ Watt. You know, hand down. Is he a stand-up? He's an outside line, but what is he? You know, there was that confusion that didn't get him drafted. And I think the same thing happened with Ramsey.
Now Barrett isn't quite the athlete that Ramsey is, and he doesn't have the size that Ramsey had. But I'm talking about a player that can play safety for you, and he's not a liability. He can play nickel. He's not a liability. He can play outside corner. He can travel with your best guy, and he's not a liability. I love Jahdae Barron to pieces, Brian Broaddus. I think behind Travis Hunter, and if Travis Hunter is a receiver, then this will make Barron my cornerback.
Well, no, I mean, do you think he's a corner? You think
I think he's a corner.
You think Hunter's a corner?
I think it's
I think when it's all said and done, there's the gang of 7 guys that they love him as a wide receiver, but I think he's going to end up as a corner. I think he's ultimately going to end up as a corner. Is what he's going to. Yeah.
So Barron, I gave him a first round grade. What? Watch this, Brian. So this is why I did it. I think as a cornerback, I think you're graded on your man cover skills. I think a lot of dudes can play zone, and some corners can be good or bad depending on what scheme that you play or whatever. I think corners make their money in man coverage, just like pass rushers make their money as pass rushers. I think that this dude as a man cover corner, I think that's enough to give him a first round grade, Brian, bro.
Sure.
I think that's enough to give him a first round grade, Brian, bro. He's so sticky. He's so, especially in man coverage. In man coverage, he's ridiculous. Yeah. But he can play zone. So if you want to put him at safety or something, let him do zone. Damn it, Brian, what a guy. What a guy. And I don't want to oversell him to people. I think he's really close to Ravel from ECU.
East Carolina, yeah.
But Ravel's bigger. I think Barron's a better man cover guy. Will Johnson, I got some problems with, but I think he can play. I'll take him at like 17.
See, I think the thing about it is, I think what's going to happen to Will Johnson when we continue to do this, I think you got Barron right, and you're making me think about, with the position and stuff. And I liked Will Johnson. I don't like Will Johnson at 3 or 2 or 3.
I don't love him there. I love him at 15. I love him at 17.
Like if you're talking but it's going to be interesting because do you feel like I don't know if Will Johnson's going to really run for Michigan. I don't know if he's going to be the case.
I don't think so.
And I could see him being down, and I could see people taking Barron over him.
Now, see,
I could absolutely see that.
This was my concern, right? If you are not going to run fast, your man cover skills.
You're not going to play.
Your man cover skills have to be perfect. Surtain was such a good man cover guy. His 40 time didn't matter. You understand what I'm saying?
You're right. Right.
I think Barron has the man coverage ability that no matter what his 40 time is, he can survive out here. Will Johnson, I do not have that same faith in.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You know what? I don't. Like I say, Will Johnson's probably going to show up and not run a very fast 40 and watch the tape. I mean, the numbers, they tell stories. Mm-hmm. But, man, I've seen dudes that have run slow and play great in the NFL. I've seen guys that run really fast and not do anything. So, don't watch the tape and see what you see. I think you got the player right. And I just wanted to say, man, I thought I was watching Trent McDuffie when I was playing, because I was thinking, who is this guy?
Great comp.
Who is this guy? And, play both sides, tackle, play man coverage, play off, play press, be better playing press. That's kind of where I thought. And like I say, I watched Trent McDuffie play, and I'm like, that kid's good.
Let me ask you this, Brian.
I think Barron can be the same way.
Let me ask you this, Brian. If you could draft Jordan Lewis last year, Think about what I'm saying, right? Like not Jordan Lewis of his early career, but if you could take like Jordan Lewis was your best cornerback last year. If you could take last year's Jordan Lewis and put that in a college player, where do you draft that guy?
Say Jordan Lewis, what we just watched this current football NFL season, or where Jordan Lewis was playing back in the day?
No. I'm talking about like Jordan Lewis as your best cornerback right now, right?
Yeah.
Like this form of him, right?
Yeah.
If this form of Jordan Lewis was a college player, where do you draft him?
Oh, he's a first round player.
That's where I'm kind of at with
Barron. No, he's playing, because he tackles, he blitzes, he covers. You can line him up outside, you can line him up inside.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
He's probably a little bigger of what a Jordan, like take Jordan Lewis's skill set
Lewis
now.
Is smart. This kid's smart too.
He's
this
very
is a
smart.
IQ,
That's my thing.
high IQ player. Yeah.
Very, very smart, great man cover guy, can line up inside in a pinch, put him outside. I think he's a really good outside guy too, because he can really push those guys to the sideline. Go ahead, please.
Let me okay. Dallas is picking 13.
13.
Okay. 13. Dallas picking 13. You're probably not going to sign Jordan Lewis back, right? I'm just
sure.
I'm
probably
just
not.
throwing it.
You're probably not.
You take this kid at 13?
I take him at 13, bro.
I know you would.
I take him at 13.
You take him over the tackle from Texas?
Nope. Hell nah. Hell nah. But I feel, I take him.
God, I love you.
He might be I take him over, out of all my first round guys, I'll take him over Starks. I'll take him over Starks. And depending what the injury situation is with Simmons, Simmons is the first round grade for me, Bryan.
By the way, Simmons is going up the board.
You see him, don't he? He up there at like 12 or 13. We call that one.
You know what? Hey, I give you credit.
Hey, we call that one, bro.
Because you called that about Simmons. You're like, bro, this is the best tackle I've seen.
I've
seen it.
I'm not feeling that Will Campbell stuff, man. This kid from Ohio State. That's where I was at.
Man, the Will Campbell stuff will scare the S out of you. You know that.
Sure will. Yeah. If we run out of guys, Bryan Broaddus, we at 12, 13, right?
God, we're going to be close, man. I think we're going to be close.
We're going to be very close. It's going to come down to the last 2 or 3 guys.
It's going to be close.
If it's like I'm taking Banks, I'm taking the receiver from Ohio State, Igbuka, I'm taking Luther Burden, of course. I don't think Genty will fall, but of course I'm taking Genty. If it's between Starks, Barron, and Igbuka, I'm taking Igbuka, then Barron, then Starks. Those are my last. Those are the last of my first round grades.
Man, it seems like to me, you if you get to Igbuka, Ohio State wide receiver, and Barron, corner, Texas, you talk about 2 football playing dudes. I mean, you're really honestly, I don't think you're going wrong with either dude.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going.
And let me give a shout out to my guy Foots the King. Me and him just kind of been talking about this in passing.
Foots,
cornerback might be a real need here, Bryan.
You know what?
Might be a real need.
You know what? I'm glad you and Foots had this discussion.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be a consideration. You don't know when you're going to get. You don't know when you're going to get that. When you get Diggs back, you really don't know.
Yeah.
And you're likely going to lose Jordan Lewis. And one of the things, I had a question for my guys today on on the break, and then on 105.3, Eric Chiafalo and I did, and I asked this question. I didn't get to ask this question. I apologize.
Sure.
But this is the question that I wanted to ask these guys because I couldn't get to it.
Please.
Player I wish I wasn't wrong about coming out of Oxnard. Who's the player I said, player I wish I wasn't wrong about coming out of Oxnard. Kalen Carson was that guy for me.
Yeah.
When I asked that question, I was thinking of Kalen Carson.
Sure.
The player that I was wrong about coming out of Oxnard. He got hurt. I thought a lot of bad things happened to him, the shoulder and all this, that, and the other. They went after him. They attacked him. He got exposed in a lot of areas. I really thought he was going to be a step-up player right out of the box.
Sure.
And if I'm sure there's other guys that I'm sure there are folks, if you want to chime in the comments, I'll read them tomorrow. But that's the player that I felt like coming out of Oxnard that I was most wrong about was Kalen Carson.
Is going to be a lot of Kalen Carsons. It's going to be a lot of Jalen Toberts. It's going to be a lot of Tyler Guyton. I wasn't wrong about Tyler Guyton. I was dead ass wrong.
No, you had Tyler Guyton. You knew what you were doing, Tyler Guyton. You had questions when you and I first started working together about that.
But there's some people that really like they saw that Micah Parsons rep that he had or whatever, and we thought, hey, look, and let me just be clear. I'm not the biggest fan of Guyton, but you need him. In order for this team to kind of gel, you need that dude to step up and be an adequate tackle for you. But we may or may not have it. So, but that's our report. And I knew this was going to be a lengthy conversation on just this one player, on Jahdae Barron, the DB from Texas. There, chat, y'all. Please tell us what you think of Jahdae Barron. Bryan, you have some more questions for me?
Yeah, I do. I do.
A couple more.
Here's one I'm interested in your thought. Do you worry that even given the opportunity to return, that Mike Zimmer doesn't?
Do I
worry?
Do I worry?
Do you worry?
Okay.
Even given the opportunity to return,
that he will not.
That Mike Zimmer will not.
I think that's a good worry. I think that's a worry that's worth having, because Zim is just coming off of taking a break. So if this defense was like all put together already, it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mike got stressed out this year, man. Mike had to deal with some stuff.
He sure did.
Mike had to deal with some stuff this year, man. So it probably wasn't as fun as he thought it was going to be. Now, I think the type of character Mike Zimmer is, I think if he was given an opportunity to come back, he'll go for another run at it. Just to be like, hey, let's see what my defense looks like in year 2 with number 11 and some of these guys here. I think he would love to have that. But it'll definitely worry me if he chose not to.
Yeah. The evaluation of Jonathan Mingo, unfair because he's not playing with Dak Prescott?
100%. I think that's all these receivers, Bryan. Even though I'm brand new this offseason here, I'm normally optimistic guy, but now I'm 10 toes down. Let's get rid of the miscellaneous people.
I agree.
But when we're watching camp, and this may be the problem with camp, Bryan Broaddus, is Jalen Brooks looks really good with Dak Prescott at camp.
Yeah.
Jalen Tolbert looks really good with Dak Prescott at camp. So maybe that's part of the problem. That Dak gives us more hope with these guys than we should be giving to him. So I don't want Dak to come in and make Mingo look great. We go, "Ooh, boy, Mingo," and Mingo lays the egg in real life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where's free safety on your list of needs?
Man, the type of character I am. I just believe in tough football. Yeah. So my O-line, D-line, and linebackers, and running backs come way before safety. I know I should probably value wide receiver a little bit higher too. I can live with Malik Hooker one more year if I feel really good about my D-line and my pass rushes.
Sure.
I don't feel really good about my D-line.
I'm saying sure, but I'm not believing it.
You sick of Malik. Hey, if I had an opportunity to get Starks, if Starks was our last first round grade on the board and we were there, I'll take Starks and be happy with it.
Yeah. I kind of feel like you need to upgrade there. And I went after him early before he signed, and I still think you need to be better there.
I agree.
That's just me personally.
I agree with you. Both safeties, free and strong. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's your feeling on Jake Ferguson going into 2025?
Just like we said with the wide receivers, he needs number 4 to play football. If 4 is not, and look, Jake may have been a little more injured this year, so I don't know. We'll see. But he went out there and he played. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But Jake Ferguson with number 10, I thought he'd be much better with 10. You know these backup quarterbacks like to dump the ball down and check down.
It's the vertical routes, man. It's the seam routes and stuff you're missing with Jake Ferguson.
That's what make Jake Ferguson I don't even think we calling seam routes anymore.
Hell no.
Mike McCarthy made me so damn sick. Well, we don't even call the damn routes no more. Let alone not throwing them. We don't even call them joints no more. But I think Jake is gonna live and die by 4.
See, I'm kind of to the point with Jake Ferguson that he could be in that category that I was talking about that I was wrong coming out of Oxnard, because I was thinking Kittle, Kelsey, you're thinking that upper echelon of tight ends.
Mike McCarthy won't allow it. I said what I said. Mike McCarthy would not allow Jake Ferguson to be one of those guys.
Yeah. I think that, like I say, I think I need to be real careful. I need to, as they say, tap the brakes on my Ferguson discussions, instead of thinking that he's going to be, Travis Kelsey and Kittle and Tony Gonzalez and every other great tight end that's ever played in this game.
I tell you what, Brian, bro, Tyler Warren on TV right now, depending on where you want to look at him at, the tight end from Penn State. Tyler Warren looking real special out there, Brian. Bro. Yeah.
Is he looking special? How about him and Loveland?
Oh, man.
Wait till you see my guy Mason Taylor, though, from LSU.
I watched him. I got him in because I can just look at my board and tell you where I got him in. I got him in the 3rd, Brian. He's right there in the 3rd.
It's a shame you're wrong about poor Mason Taylor, but we'll live to fight another
LSU,
day.
man, I get it. It's all, so you're wearing it now. It's all good.
We got the victory today, man. Took out the Baylor Bears.
Y'all was on TV today?
All right. Yeah, we're on TV today. We tried to give the game away at the end. We tried. But we prevailed. We prevailed. We need your NIL money if you're listening. Send money to LSU. We need your money.
Oh, look.
Last one I got for you there, big timer. Can Tyler Smith be your Zach Martin one day?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's special. I would love to know what exactly an offensive line coaching change would look like. I would also like the ability to hit a reverse button just in case I don't like it, but that ain't how life works. I think it's a lot of meat on the bone in terms of your offensive line stuff. But I'm very curious, Brian. In this same offensive line coaching room or whatever, we get terrible years out of Terrence Steele, Tyler Smith, to his standards or whatever, and Zach Martin. But we get really good years from Bass and Hoffman and them.
Yeah,
I think that's really weird.
I thought it was strange too, but
Chuma Doga's playing well. You know what I mean? I'm curious.
Yeah, see, I was trying to kick Mike Solari to the curb. Man, they finally found a way to kind of develop some offensive linemen, even Awesome Richards. Now, I'm not going to give you a break on Waletzko and Ball and those guys. But the guys that had to play, I'm going to say this. You like Brock Hoffman for 15 17 games a year?
No, sir.
No, I don't either.
So Brian, what this means to me, this big flashing light, what it means is that
we're gonna
Solari,
take that Banks kid from
yes,
Texas.
Sir. Let's go get some better dudes up in this mug, boy. Hey, look, Solari can be the offensive line. He could be the assistant O-line coach, and he can raise all them young boys up. But I'm gonna get me a brand new one to work with my first 5, and I'm gonna get a better dude up in here, and I'm gonna play him at guard or tackle, and we're gonna go boogie player. You understand me?
I like you, man. I appreciate it. That's it, bro. I got you. Got me covered. You got me covered,
man. Brian, fantastic questions. From you. Fantastic analysis by Jahdae Barron. Texas, Texas DB.
Hey, you got your tux ready? You got your tux ready for tonight?
Man, I'm going to bed. I'm 32. What's wrong with you, man?
Bro, I'm 61. I'm ready to go. Put on the tux. Let's go, man. We get to speak easy.
My knee hurt. I'm finna go. Are you talking about Salt and Pepper Lounge? Man,
one day, I swear to you, I'm going to show up in the Salt and Pepper Lounge. I'm going to have a tux on. I'm going to wear my tux in the Salt and Pepper Lounge.
Yeah, I won't. but I would love it.
I'm going to have a big ass cigar, and I'm going to be in the Salt and Pepper Lounge with my tux on.
That sounds fun, Brian Bros. We'll do it one day. We'll do it from Crown Media Studios or something. We'll have a little shindig.
Yeah, a little shindig there. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to see my big board, y'all can please go to patreon.com/.
Yeah, I need to get mine to you as well so you can put it up.
I appreciate it, sir. That means the world to me. Hey, y'all, please tell us what y'all think about Jahdae Barron in the comments there. We'll talk about it. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want me to give you a holiday tomorrow? You want to watch some college football tomorrow? Or we're gonna go at 1 o'clock?
Man, nah. We gonna go to work, Brian. We gonna wake up. We gonna wake up. We gonna wake up early. We gonna get some work. Yo, bro, I'm not lazy.
You know what, hey,
we gonna work, bro.
Look at you, man. I was trying to see where you're at because you're like, hey, man, what are we doing on? And I said, hey, how about I could do in the afternoon? You're like, how about 1 o'clock? And I'm like, let's do a show at 1 o'clock.
We gonna work, Brian. So we gonna give him an early show tomorrow, man. Hey,
there we go.
Because I work hard. I don't want Brian to shame me. But hey, VOCHLOMBARDI, we trying to get, man, we got the John Madden patch at BRY in Broaddus over here. Y'all please be sure to support and hold us down. We love y'all 2 pieces. We'll catch y'all next time. Crown.